computer. Right, good evening everybody and welcome to our Wednesday webinar. Tonight we're going to be talking about the retail and the rods in the pond. Coincidentally, training I'm doing on Sunday, I'm actually going to be talking about rods in the pond because in our previous business, the rods in the pond were always for team building. There's so many rods in the pond, but nowadays with Viva MK, there's lots of ways that we can retail the products, but more importantly, then from a new person's point of view, we need to get them making money, so we need to try and get them to use as many of the rods in the pond that we can. And if we're not actually using them all or know how to use them, then it's unlikely that they will. So that's why I wanted people to share with me, you know, for example, how many of the rods are you using? Do we give our books to friends and family? I know you are all doing catalogues, and most of the people I'm talking tonight don't come into the bracket, but we're talking about teaching people how to make money. So with the retail side of the business, with all the rods that are there, and we need to know, you know, what the results are, you know, how it's working for us. So just make sure with yourself that you are, how often are you doing it? Are you consistent? Daily in your own groups? How many products are you putting daily in your own groups? Everything has to be daily. External groups, how many are you doing daily in your external groups? And are you using before and after photos and videos on external groups as well as on your own? Because video marketing is very, very, very powerful, and I do know that many of you do the before and after the photographs. Still trying to figure out how to get an album. Might have to just make up a group or something on our Facebook, on our A-Team Rhino group. Every time I try to make an album of our photos or videos, it wants to do it in my documents. So if there's anybody who knows that technology, get back to me after the meeting. But are we using videos before and after? All you need to do is search videos in each of your selling groups. And if they have other people doing videos, then we can use them. And I stole this for Louise. I hope you don't mind, Louise. I edited it to get rid of the scheduled price on it, so I just stole it. Now hold on a wee minute. Can you hear the volume for Louise there? You can, because I couldn't remember if I put shared volume. I'll just, hopefully it'll be loud enough, folks. Later on. Thank you, Louise. Wait till how to get to the next slide. Don't worry, Jane, I'm not going to do a product video with you here, but your video was there. The live demonstrations and the product videos, we're receiving products every single week from Viva. To me, it makes absolute sense. Like Jane, I mean, I see Jane's live now in our group doing these product demonstrations. And to me, it makes sense. We've got hundreds of products that we're getting delivered to ourselves each week. So it makes sense to do the product demonstrations, but also to have them in a file. That's my goal, is to have them in a file. Right, we're all working hard with the catalogues. I know that there's people doing lots of blanket drops. Every single one of you who have got your customer base from the last business working successfully for Viva MK, I'm going to say, first of all, well done. I take my hats off to you, because I know it didn't just happen overnight. You had to work at that customer base, losing some and gaining some new customer base. But it's the actual blanket dropping for the new people that we really need to get. You can see this is why I'm wanting all the rods in the pond. It's a lot to do with brand recognition. Definitely I would recommend door knocking, but it is time and patience. If you don't want the door knocking, then maybe we need something to make them open the book and have a look. And also talk about the doorstep presentations. And it's at this point I'm just going to stop the share and see if we could share ideas of what people maybe have been doing to get people to open the book, what results they're getting, the doorstep demonstrations. Anybody wanting to start? If not, I will pick on you. Please. Now, you're not allowed to do this to me. Kevin and Lisa, you were looking at knocking on doors or using a slip. You're muted just now, so I'll unmute you. And you've got some good results.
I'll go for a second.
Right, hang on a wee second. Joseph's going first. Let me just mute. Right, go, Joseph. Joseph. I couldn't get your name out there.
It's not particularly a retailing method, as it were, but I guess it goes along the same line. Obviously, I just really do service my customer base. I am doing some blanket drop-in as well to start to rebuild a stronger customer base. But what I decided to do in the last couple of weeks with my customer base is to do a promotion within the catalogues to promote a specific product, but try to encourage them to try more of the essentials products. Because at the moment, I think I've got a few that use the essentials, some things from the essentials products, the stain removal I sell loads of, but they're not really venturing away from the things that they used to use anyway. And I've done a couple of things. I did a promotion where I printed out a leaflet, put it in the book, just saying, I'll give you a 10%. Try something new from the essentials range. This was a couple of months ago. Try something new from the essentials range, and I'll give you a 10% discount on your whole order. Just to try to get them to. And I got a few extra orders but they tried a few different products.
So
sorry, go on.
I just said, so it worked, really.
Yeah, I mean, I've only got 80 customers on my customer base, so I didn't get hundreds, but it was an extra maybe 20, 30 quid's worth of orders. And I've just done another one that I've put together, which is quite a big discount, but I really hoped it would get some extra sales. And I've got some extra sales, and I'm going to proceed with it. What I've decided to do is to do a feature product in the catalogue pack. Not necessarily every month, but just as and when I get a product and I try it. So I've been using the max strength degreaser. I've been testing that myself on a few bits and bobs, and I found that really, really good. So what I decided to do was put that in as a feature product, and I just put a little bio with it, just saying, look, I really believe in the product. It's easy to look at these and go like they're expensive, but I believe in the products that we have because I use them myself. I'm difficult to please. I'm fussy, and get them and try to encourage them to use it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a feature product as and when I test them myself. And what I'm hoping for is it's going to encourage you to try more of our essentials range, but also to get feedback. So also it's giving them a reason to use it to either moan to me or reward me.
Yeah, brilliant. Excellent. I like it.
So what I just did was I put in the feature product as the max strength product, and I put like a big picture of it on there, and I just said, if you buy this product, if you buy any other product from the essentials range at full price, I'll give you this product, the max strength degreaser, at 20% discount. And I sold 3 on the last round, just from 45 books. I sold 3 extra max strength degreasers that I probably wouldn't have sold otherwise.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that, Joseph. I think Kate's doing some things as well, you know, but Kevin, I asked him first, so I'll mute you again if you're finished, Joseph. Kevin, what you been doing? Don't go
designing. I'm not going shy. Designing leaflets. Well, I haven't. Lisa has.
Lisa has. You and Lisa.
Yeah, we work together, designing leaflets to encourage them to open the catalogue. Because that's the block. You can give anybody a catalogue, but you've got to get them to look in it. Yeah, you're not talking about customer base because they're looking in it anyway.
Yeah,
it's the new ones. So working on it, and when they arrive in their shiny little packets, in about 1 week, we shall get them out and try them, and then if that wording doesn't work, we'll refine it. And also we're working on, like I said to you the other day, branding it. So that it is a unique logo and everything that ties to us than anybody in our team, and we just keep that rhythm going. And reward cards as well. That was something we're working on. The prices we're not quite sure about yet. Well, the gift that they get, but we'll work on that. And obviously the criteria for that is to make it cost effective. Yeah, you don't want to be costing you more than you're going to make. So that's it for now. But I mean, Lisa has 1,000,001 literally promotions and stuff that we've done over the years. And we're just going to gradually feed them in.
See what works.
We'll see what works. I have to say, I mean, I've picked up today, and those orders are a lot higher than I would have got an equivalent with Clean Easy.
Was that customer base you picked up today?
No, there was only 3 in there from, and one of them is my sister, so I'd say you can't really count that.
It doesn't count.
But no, you know, that's purely originally door knocked.
So what you did, and this is interesting because this is the statistic. My tongue's wanting to get tied all night tonight. The statistic that I was interested in, that was door knocking. That result was £97, including your
it was 97 quid, yeah.
And that was door knocking, and it was with how many books? I remember, but I'll get you
27.
27 books door knocking.
Yeah, I picked up 26. There's one straggler. So that in itself is good, just having one straggler.
I think that's a brilliant result. So well done, and thanks for sharing that. And obviously the things that you're trying out. Kevin,
I don't want to describe them yet because they're not. I've not tried them out yet. When I've tried them out, I'll let everybody know, because there's no point going, oh, that's good, and then it doesn't work. So.
But it is what we are looking at. The whole point of that is something that we can say on these slips to make them open the books, because we know if they open them. But that's brilliant, because of what that does back up.
Yeah, you see, I'm going to physically hand them the slip to read, and then give them the book, because if the slip is inside the book, it'll just get thrown to one side. So this is going to be something that makes them read it. They're more likely to read that, I know from my other business. They're more likely to read that and then be guided to the book than just fling the book to the side and take it off you because they feel sorry for you. I'm being truthful.
Keep us posted, but I'm really.
I will do, yeah.
I'm chuffed about the knock-in, because that's a good result. That's what, £3 odds for a blanket drop.
I chat to them a lot. I butter them up.
Butter them up. Don't try to tell us it's your charm that's getting you the sales. I'll have to mute you now. Thanks for that, Kevin. That was brilliant. Anybody else want to share some things that they're doing? I know Kate is. Are you doing some things to get them open the books, Kate? Do you want me to unmute you?
That's okay. I think I'm unmuted. Yeah. Okay. Tom and I Tom and I, in the Clean Easy days, we used to do promotions like the retail boosters and stuff like that the company printed flyers for. And they stopped, the company stopped printing the flyers, but they still had the retail boosters, but we forgot about them because there wasn't any flyers. And then eventually we decided we didn't actually need the flyer. All we had to do was tell the customers we were going to give them a gift. We didn't specify what the gift was. We just put I've now got a little rubber stamp made up for the order forms. This is for customer base. I've got a little rubber stamp made up now just to put on the order form next to our name and address. It says free gift with every £15 order. So we did this in the Clean Easy days towards the end when the stock levels were getting ridiculous and customers were starting to feel a bit let down and stuff like that. We revived all this and we started doing it. And what we used was we used the kind of internet specials that the company had, which were stuff that they were trying to get rid of that was maybe £1 or £1.50 each to the distributors. You were getting bonus points.
Could you say what you're using now though, Kate, please?
Sorry?
Could you explain what you're using just now?
Yep.
You can't get the internet special.
Yep. So we did. So what we did was we gave the customers a choice of gift. We took round a box with various things on it, gave them the box and said choose something, and they loved it. So for that reason, we kept a lot of goodwill with our customers, especially during the transition period. And just before the end of Clean Easy, we started doing a newsletter as well that we've kept going all this time, and it's massively powerful now. So following your Millionaires, Lynn, when we had Sharon Davis talking about it, and I had thought about resurrecting this, I hadn't done the gifts for a while. And she was talking about using the spring cleaning set as the basis for her free gift. And what she does is she splits it up and she puts one product in as the free gift. She just randomly chooses it. The customer doesn't know what they're getting, but basically they're getting a product that looks as if it's worth £5 or £6, but in actual fact it's cost her £1.25 a product. She's got a bonus on it as well, obviously, so it would be even less than that. But if you're buying it, it's £3.75 for us to buy. If you break it down and take the bottles of product out, they're £1.25 each. And on a £15 order, you're still getting plenty of profit in that. You can afford to give away a £1.25 item. I started doing that just at the beginning of May there, and the customers are absolutely loving it. And one particular lady who normally spends about £20, her order was £49 this month, so I just gave her the whole thing because that was equivalent to 3 £15 orders. So when she opened her bag and she saw this bag, she said, I didn't order that. And I said, no, that's your free gift. And she went, that's fantastic, absolutely brilliant. She was so thrilled about that. And I said, when you run out of product, you can buy another set if you want to. But the customers are really loving it. So also following Sharon's guidance as well, on the blanket drop-in, I'm also doing a free gift with every order. And again, I'm looking to identify, customers so they will get the same free gift, really, regardless of the size of their order. But I'm looking to identify customers just now. And I've also got for the first few blanket drops, the first 300 or 400 blanket drops, I wasn't using a particular introductory slip, just my normal day slip. But now I've got a little leaflet in now saying, welcome to VMK, have a look, we'll give you a free gift with every order. We've got lots of stuff from bedding to jewellery to, just introduce the book a wee bit. And I'm picking up the first lot of them tomorrow. So
we'll find the story for that.
Yourself, it's, you're running your own business, you're running VMK, but within that you've got tons and tons of flexibility. So, just make your mark, speak to people, if you're walking past their garden, admire their garden. If they come to the door carrying a dog or something, admire their dog, but
unless it bites you.
just be yourself, really.
That's brilliant. Thanks very much, Kate. Anybody else? I know that Janet does loads and loads and loads of online demonstrations and gives us online demonstrations, door-to-door demonstrations, and usually gives us an example every week. I'm just trying to unmute you. We try to unmute each other at the same time. Now, I suppose because you do have success with this, and we're getting a different success story every week, I would probably maybe ask for tips, and do you know what I mean? Like maybe some people say, well, how the heck does she actually go about it? Or if you don't want to give tips, give me another success story, because I know there'll be one there.
Well, the tips, just really, if you know what your products are like, then you can use those products for demonstration purposes. I started off years ago with our previous company, and I used to ask people how they used to clean their oven. And I was going to say, you get variety of different answers on that one, and say, well, what don't you like about it? And they say, well, you've got to scrub, or I don't like the smell, or whatever else. Well, the other mate was fantastic. And if you use it yourself, as Joe was saying earlier, if you use the products yourself, you kind of know what to look for.
Mm-hmm.
And just ask questions. That's the easiest way of doing it. Last week I went out with UPVC cleaner and a couple of cloths, and I was actually wiping down some people's doors. And I'm like, unfortunately, I sell quite a lot of the essentials range, so I've got quite a few people say, but Janet, I've already bought that from you. Thinking, well, maybe you want to start using it then.
Well, you maybe not going to say that, darling.
No, I didn't say that, but was thinking it. But no, even today I delivered an order to one of my old ladies, and I know that the catalogue's never outside waiting for me, and I always go in and I normally sit and write the order form out for her as she's looking through it. And she saw the popcorn maker, the microwave popcorn maker, and she says, do you get the popcorn with it? And I said, if you did, do you want one? And she went, yes. So,
and so you got a big packet of popcorn.
so I went out and I got her a packet of popcorn. And not only did she order the popcorn maker, but she ordered the containers that you put it in for sitting and watching the TV with.
Excellent.
So it's stupid little things like that that make the difference. I came away with £47.50 today from that.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I was going to say, my son, bless his heart, he's been working exceedingly hard, and he said to me, but Mum, I haven't got time to sit and talk to the customers like that. I said, you haven't got time? I said, you must be joking. I said, think about it. I said, if you sit and talk to them and listen to their troubles, you end up with a £40-odd order. And I said, it might take you half an hour, but I said, that's not bad, £10 worth for half an hour. And he kind of went, yeah, okay, I see your point. So, of course, what did he do? He sat talking to one of my old ladies and left me to do all the work picking the catalogues up.
You maybe shouldn't have told them that. Just for everybody else's benefit, Janet's son's doing a lot of blanket dropping at the minute, along with Janet, and they're coming, you know, it's coming along. That's what we will say. Thanks very much, Janet. Anybody else want to share any stories before I just go back to the training? I will open it up again. I really was wanting more, as I say, from stories from tonight, but also there's something else that I wanted to talk about. And here's another one before we go on to the ones, the small training that Louise has promised to do for me at loads of notice. Parties and home demonstrations. Now, home demonstrations might not be so appealing just now, but something like what Janet was talking, like taking a product and just showing the customer it is a home demonstration. But if you remember, Louise did a great training some time back about doing actual Facebook parties where you don't have to go live. You just set up events, have it prepared beforehand, and these are the sort of things that we have to be trying to do, all of them, if we want to get the results. And I put Spock up there because that's something that we used a lot, and Kate just told me recently, I've got another sale for Spock. Kate used to get loads for Spock. And then we're going to finish tonight with Louise doing a short training on the Instagram. She's done it before, but we're now starting to learn more about it, and she'll tell you herself that what's happened. Let me see if I can get you, Louise. get your wee face up here. Can you talk so we can see you? Oh, I seen you a minute ago.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I just need to put speaker view though, so you, I don't want to show large. I'll make you large and then I'll make you small again. Sorry about this, but the large, it comes as a real large speaker view. There's no choice for a small speaker view. Just shrinking it down. There we go. She's just going to give us a recap on Instagram, because the more I use it, the more I'm learning that it's definitely another benefit, and it's not much time to add it into your schedule. Over to you, Louise. I'll do your clicking, so just go.
Just click on to the next one. I had a quick look through these actually when you sent me them earlier, and I thought, my God, so much has changed already, and that was only since January, I think, that I first did this. But basically, yeah, I mean, I've went to a couple of workshops now for Instagram, and I really quite like the way we could use it to totally benefit our businesses if we use it properly. Instagram is kind of different from Facebook in the sense that it's more visual, obviously, because every post has a picture. You don't just post a blurb of text. Every post has a picture, and it's got much more of a community feel rather than like a lot of Facebook. And basically, you can, you're looking to build up trust with people. You want to be passionate about your product or your cause. I mean, you don't have to use it for selling products. You could use it for recruitment side. You communicate with people sort of daily on it, and you choose what you share. I mean, you can obviously share products, lifestyle posts, anything like that. And I think the ultimate thing is just sort of be yourself on it, to get it to work for you. Just move on, Lynn.
Yeah, I thought that.
So you want to tell your brand story. Obviously, being a visual platform, the first impressions are what counts. That's what's going to entice people in. They will look at your, they'll obviously can see a post if they search specific hashtags that maybe you've used. They don't have to be your friend on Instagram to see your posts. And also they can look back, they can see your grid, they can see what you've posted previously, and if it appeals to them, they'll probably follow you. And that's really what you're looking for, is to build up your followers. So good quality content to build up the relationships with people, and ultimately obviously build up trust in you, trust in your brand. So always be passionate about what you do. I actually, I put up a product post today. I don't usually put many product posts on my actual feed. I usually do them in my stories. I put it up on my feed today, and I think in about 30 seconds I had sold a Wipeout. It was as quick as that. I really couldn't believe it. And the funny thing is, the lady that's bought the Wipeout has been in my group on Facebook for ages. I never bought it. So there you go. Always communicate with others on Instagram. If they comment, you tap the little icon to like the comment as a wee acknowledgement. I mean, if you know them, you can, or even if you don't know them, I mean, you don't have to know them personally, but strike up a conversation if you can. If it's a decent comment, you will get some kind of people who are trying to tell you that they'll get you loads of followers and whatever, but I just ignore them because they ultimately want you to pay them for that. Your engagement count on Instagram is worth more than your amount of followers. So if you could only have, say, 100 followers, but if the posts that you're putting on are getting a high reach, a high engagement count, and we'll explain that a wee bit further on how you get that ultimately sort of matters more, if you like, than the actual figure in followers. And always add location into your post, because apparently it can increase your visibility by up to sort of 20 to 30%, which I've started to do actually since I went to the workshop, and it does work. So make sure you choose a really clear picture. You don't have to worry so much about editing them like you do with Facebook. You can't get a ban, you can't get your picture removed, anything like that. But at the end of the day, I suppose you don't want to be using somebody else's pictures, really, so you do want to kind of make them unique to you. There's plenty of apps out there that you can use that are specifically for the size of posts that Instagram uses. There's Preview, there's Planoly. I'm still trying to get to grips with a few of them myself, but they do work very well. Now you can tag up to 20 accounts within a post. I don't think I've ever done maybe more than 1 or 2, to be honest with you. Never use an actual hashtag within your content that you post. You want to post your content, so like today, the wipeout remover, I posted a little bit about that, about how fantastic it was. You leave kind of 5 spaces and then you start on your hashtags. So, for example, the hashtags I used today with wipeout was hashtag stain remover, hashtag wipeout, which obviously wipeout isn't a trending hashtag on Instagram, but there's no reason why we can't make it one if you were going to post it as a product. So hashtag stain remover, hashtag cleaning, hashtag products, hashtag cleaning products, hashtag home cleaning, things like that, because I know from who I follow and what I do on Instagram, and I've got 3 different Instagram accounts, that cleaning is a big thing just now on Instagram as well. So a lot of the cleaning hashtags are actually specifically searched for every day by millions of people. So if you post a lot of our cleaning products and use those hashtags, you'll be amazed at who you can reach. Now this is an example of 3 kind of different accounts. Now I've changed mine since then, this bit underneath. The Flamingo Fair social one is the lady that I went to for the training, actually, and she's really very good at what she does. On the one that you see in front of you, you'll see it's got their local business. Now, I'm trying to get it up on my phone so I can tell you. I changed it on her advice, actually, the second time I went to see her, to home decor. And also she recommended that I want to reach a target audience, obviously, of my area specifically. So I put in East Lothian /home/essentials kind of thing, because I figured essentials kind of covers, I didn't want to put cleaning, I didn't want to restrict it to just cleaning. But this is ultimately what people will see if they look at your grid to follow you. Her one, as you can see, looks kind of a wee bit better. She's got all these little circles. I don't know if you can see what I mean in there. She's got about me, apps to help, flashing text and whatever. Now, I've tried to do that. As you can see, I've got highlights there, and that's kind of things that I've featured on my story. But as I say, there's so much to learn, and it takes time, obviously. And at the end of the day, Facebook is what's bringing me sales just now, as well as trying to blanket drop. So Instagram's kind of maybe not gone on the back burner, so to speak, but I'm only really focusing on it like sort of this time of night before I go to bed, sort of thing. So it's taken me a wee while longer to build all these things up, but the scope for it is just incredible. So a lot of people a lot of business people anyway, tend to use Instagram as a Google for business. They will search hashtags. That's how they will find you, because they won't know you by name. They won't know your Instagram name. The link that says there, you only get 1 link on Instagram, that's in your bio, which is a bit of just featured. And I've got a link there to my Facebook shop, and it is a clickable link. You can make it a clickable link as well. So therefore you can say in your posts, link in bio, and that'll take them into your Facebook group. The bio bit, obviously, I'm trying not to go into it in a huge amount of detail, because I know for some of you it's maybe going way over your head if you don't actually use Instagram. Just make it clear, make it readable, and make it authentic to yourself. Just move on, Lynn, because I've covered the clickable link bit at the bottom. So this is an example of how your grids can look. Quotes, pictures, obviously there's not a lot of business stuff in these pictures at the moment, because that was before I kind of changed it to a business one. And then recently I've kind of lost the way with it a wee bit as a business one, and it's just been a source of fun. But at the end of the day, it still gets you followers, and it still is building up you as a person. And if you've got to be yourself on it, then that's who you are. Do you know what I mean? But really, what she said to me about this grid was that it didn't look kind of professional enough, that it should be like a quote, a picture, a quote, a picture. So I took that away and I started to make all my own quotes and tag my Louise's Little Luxuries, my Instagram name, at the bottom of them. And I did that for quite a few months. And I must admit, it did really increase followers with the hashtags that I was using on the quotes as well. But again, that's another daily thing to add to the list, to make up a unique kind of quote every day. And again, I've lost away with that a wee bit more recently. But do you know, don't let all these wee things kind of snag you down. You can still use it very, very successfully. This here is her grid, which personally I kind of look at it and I think, well, I think mine's was more interesting because she's got some blank ones there, but to her they're not blank. They relate to her social media business and what she does to help social media businesses. I noticed actually since then hers has changed quite a lot, and it's a lot more impressionable. If we talk about first impressions, it's a lot more colourful and everything like that. But basically, people can scroll down, but on average, people will only spend about 2 to 3 seconds, so they only see the 9 squares. They won't really go any further than that. Mm-hmm. And Instagram will only show you 2 days worth. It'll only go back about 2 days worth of posts. It's recommended that you post between 1 to 3 times a day and vary your posting times. Obviously, the posting times have got to suit you, but a lot of people are creatures of habit, and they'll go on social media before and after work, if they're on the bus to work, on the train, whatever, and then at night once they've got the kids in bed.
Oops, how did that happen? That's weird. Right,
so I'm not going to read all these out. These are just the sort of best times to post sort of thing, and are very similar times to what I would say is successful on Facebook as well. Although Saturday, Sunday, it doesn't really kind of give you a lot of evening times, and I'm always quite successful on Facebook in the evenings. But I mean, again, take from it what you want. I mean, if you didn't get strung up on the fact if you can't post at 7 o'clock in the morning or whatever, these are just guidelines as to when social media is at its peak, sort of thing. So yeah, it's all about the hashtags on Instagram. If you put up a post for Wipeout Stain Remover, you could make it sound the best thing in the world. But if you do not use one hashtag, the only people that will see your post is your Instagram friends. Nobody else will see it. You won't reach anybody else at all without using any hashtags. It's recommended you use a maximum of 30 and try and use as many of that 30 as you can. You can create groups to save hashtags in. So like for a recruitment post, you obviously want to use certain types of hashtags, like hashtag work from home, hashtag business mum, hashtag earn extra money, things like that. So you could have a group of recruitment hashtags, you could have a group of selling hashtags, hashtags for different target audiences, so to speak. The list is just endless of what you could do. Avoid making up your own if you can, and avoid using too big hashtags because nobody really reads them. And are they working? Well, again, like Facebook, you can view your insights and stuff, but you'll see they're working because you'll get the notifications of who's liked your post. You'll know when you've kind of hit the jackpot, so to speak, if you put a post up and then you start getting not only likes, but you start getting new followers and stuff as well. So thanks to Wipeout, I've got 8 new followers today as well. And yeah, just different kind of types of hashtags. Obviously, you've got your location ones, which you'd maybe use. I mean, I sometimes do a lot of posts if I'm out with the dog. So I'll use, beach East Lothian, hashtag East Lothian. Hashtags. You've got your branded ones, which I don't think I really have used. Community ones, topical. subject, speed, they're all kind of your speed ones are ones that are probably like, if you think of Twitter and you think of what's trending on Twitter, so your speed ones are kind of like that on Instagram. How do you know what they are? Well, you just have to watch, you have to try and follow some high profile accounts yourself, people who are doing really well on Instagram, people who are very popular on Instagram, and watch what they're using, pick up hashtags that way. Try searching hashtags as well before you post, and it's amazing if you search hashtag life, for example, or hashtag one life, live it, hashtag live your best life. They are in hundreds of thousands of figures for how well they're used. Same with like cleaning account, home decor, home accessories, things like that. You'll be amazed. You'll be absolutely amazed at the figures. So yeah, so the 3 ways to organically grow your account. So that's your tagline and your bio's got to be attractive, got to entice people in. Your location as well, obviously to get people local to you, and the hashtags that you use, which we spoke about. Using all 30, and that's basically how people will discover you, is using the correct hashtags. So using a planning app is actually recommended, but to be honest, I've tried it. I found it a bit of a faff. I prefer just to post on Instagram when I'm ready to post. But again, it's time. It's getting to sit and look at all these apps. I'm not saying they're not any good. Some of them are probably brilliant. But the best way I've found is looking at other Instagram accounts that you follow, ones that have got hundreds and thousands of followers, because they're obviously doing something right. And searching hashtags yourself, kind of thing. You need to take time to get to know your hashtags, because that is how you're going to build your profile on Instagram, whether it be for marketing, for selling the brand, or whether it's for recruitment. That's how you're going to build your business that way. Bearing in mind that this was back in January and there was 400 million people that used Instagram stories. But that's just the stories, that's not the actual feed. So that'll be more than that now, I would imagine. The stories are good. It's little 15-second bites. If you do videos, it's 15 seconds at a time. If your video is longer than that, it will automatically break it down into 15-minute slots. Again, as Lynn said earlier, we could use product videos on there to sell. You could just use pictures. It's entirely up to you. You can add texts to your story, to your image, through your stories. But a lot of people, if they've not got time to sit and scroll, when they log on, that's ultimately what they'll do. They'll click the circles along the top and go through their stories one by one. You don't even have to click on every one. Click on the first one, and once it's gone through their stories, it'll automatically take you on to your next story anyway. There's another girl, actually, another lady in Viva who's using her stories really, really successfully. And it's good. It's good to see the amount of interaction that it's getting. So yeah, pick and choose. Be choosy about what you put on your stories. Don't just kind of pop up any old thing. Put something that's really gonna grab people's attention. Okay, Lynn?
That's it. Sorry. Yeah.
So yeah, so the circles at the top of your feed, that's where your stories are. I think I've kind of cut, they last for 24 hours. And again, pop the location in again to improve the sort of visibility and the reach of your stories. Hashtags, use up to 10 per story. I don't use a lot of hashtags in my stories. Sometimes I'll share what Viva IMK kind of official post. I'll share that to my stories, so they're kind of already tagged in it anyway. I have done basically hashtag to myself, because if they click on the hashtag Louise's Little Luxuries, that ultimately links it to my Facebook page as well. So you can tag up to 10 accounts per story. You can see all your story statistics and everything as well, and you will get a notification if some other Instagrammer has featured your story. And that is ultimately what you want. You want other people to use your stories and feature them, because that is how you will reach so many more people, so much more people. I mean, I've done it, as I say, with sharing the Viva MK official post, Mrs. Huckleberry's Instagram as well, sharing her ones. That all helps her to grow her account. Do you know what I mean? And again, getting featured is just dependent on how good your post is and the hashtags that you use and how kind of active your account is as well. There is obviously topical hashtags that you can use, and you'll be amazed. There's like double figures for every day. But World Nutella Day, which is in February, apparently got a lot of hits. So yeah, you can use things like that. I mean, National Pet Day, for example, and you could advertise a pet product. Do you know what I mean? So you'd get a lot of hits on that. So again, this really just goes back to the beginning: the interest, the timelines, building the relationships with people, and building up your engagement. And Instagram themselves, the buzzword for 2019 is authenticity, and that's really what I said at the very beginning. Don't try and be somebody that you're not. Ultimately, you know, and I think I've found that myself lately, as I've said already, when I was trying to make up all those quotes and everything, I was doing what somebody else had told me to do. Was that really me? I don't know, because it kind of stopped making Instagram a wee bit fun, if you like. So yeah, just be yourself and just, you know, I think you need to decide, if you're not using it already, I think you need to decide what format you want to use it for. Do you want to use it for selling? Do you want to use it for recruiting? Do you want to do both? And it's getting that balance, you know, and they recommend sort of 2 posts out of every 9 be a product post, which isn't a lot if you think they're saying post 2 to 3 times a day. But again, you could get around it. You could do product posts on your stories rather than in your feed, or vice versa. I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody wants to message me. I don't know everything. I'm still learning. Learning as we go, so to speak. But yeah.
That was brilliant.
That's it so far.
I know there will probably be a lot of questions. Probably can't answer them. Yeah, give a clap first. I'll try to unmute.
We're probably dead by now.
Just unmute everybody. But if I hear any background, I'll track it down, because sometimes we get a wee bit of background noise. Anybody got any questions? Because I know, like Instagram, I've started to use it, and sometimes if you're not using it, Joe, I know you're using it a lot, so a bit more for the team building. So maybe next week, if possible, we could have a chat about you maybe covering how you're using it for the team building, because we're kind of been a bit long tonight. I don't want to keep everybody on too long. But does anybody got any questions?
Yeah, I've got a question, please. Just as you showed a slide there, Louise, and it was your own profile, Michael's profile, and the lady that you went to for the training's profile. And while you were speaking, I quickly went onto my profile to see what mine said underneath it, because Michael said author, and the other lady said media, and I can't remember what yours said. But when I went on to mine, I haven't written anything under my name at all on mine at the moment. But what I have got is a notice from Instagram inviting me to change to a business profile.
Right.
So yeah. I haven't done anything about that yet. But what would your feedback be to that?
Question.
Yeah, you would need to change it to a business profile to be able to do like the link in the bio, and to be able to set the bio out kind of to your.
Right. Well, there's already a link on my bio.
You've already got a link, right? Okay. But I think to be able to get the kind of benefit, I mean, it does change if you use a business account. You can get, God, I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's to do with, like, as I say, a lot of the way you can set it up. I'm trying to look at mine while I'm talking. And like the circle things underneath, getting featured, different things like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, mine's has changed since then. I don't know. Mine's now says, obviously I made the logo up for mine, the Louise's Little Luxuries logo, to make it more kind of streamlined, more business-like. But mine's underneath has got East Lothian, downward, like vertical / home / essentials, and then it's got home decor underneath. And then it's got the little taglines of like entrepreneur, seller of all things home and more, social media lover, Hashtag Louise's Little Luxuries, find us on Facebook, and then it's got my actual clickable link. Because I know, I mean, Michael's changed his as well to personal blog instead of author as well, because I think it's to do with a lot of the changes that Instagram's bringing in. But yeah, we can talk about that. We can talk about how to change it if you want.
I think what might be a good idea for those that are on Instagram is just to bite the bullet, make a profile, start to get our, hashtags, the people like Louise, Marcel, and other people start to, and then just look exactly what you're doing. It's hard for you to explain what you're seeing on your screen without posting a screenshot, which if you're okay to do that after the meeting, that would be great to give some screenshots to get folk. I know that I'm a wee bit further ahead than the people that haven't started, but I'm miles behind. But I'm actually now ready to see how we can really use it for the selling and the team building. And as I say, maybe next week Joseph will tell us explain a wee bit how he's using it on team building. If you're around, Joseph.
I can, but I'm not sure it'll be very useful.
He always says stuff like that. I'm watching what he's doing. He's doing great. He's doing all the stuff he has to do. Anybody else got any questions for Louise, or should we follow up on the A-Team Rhino group? If you've got any questions, maybe just kick into gear with the I forgot the name of Instagram. If you've not started, and if you've already started, let's just start to use it more, because we do need to find other means outside Facebook as well. And the more rods in the pond. Didn't even get a chance to talk about Spock. We can just Google that. Google Spock. It's another place you can sell products. Kate sells quite a lot for Spock. So it's just getting as many rods in the pond as possible. I do apologise, we went over time tonight. I asked Louise to do that training because sometimes when you have an interactive and you want interaction, you don't get enough interaction. And so Louise was doing the training just in case we didn't get enough interaction, but we've got loads of interaction. So thanks for that. Thanks for sharing. Hiya Trisha, before I go away and say hiya, hello and cheerio. And hiya Michael, I can see you properly now. And for those that are going on Sunday to the big one, see you all at the big one. For those that aren't, we'll see you all next Wednesday, and we'll be giving a date soon for our next Scottish sizzle. We know when we're down south ones are, but the Scottish one, we'll give you dates for that soon. Everybody happy?
Yep.
Ciao, ciao, everyone.
Ciao.
Well, you got to say something there, Joe. Were you saying cheerio?
Oh, saying bye.
See you later. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Bye. Night.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Louise.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for your input.